Okay, there we go. Let's start over. Hi, everybody, and welcome to episode 41 of Web of Lies. If you're watching this on YouTube, nothing went wrong. Everything's perfectly fine.
Yep.
Don't worry about it.
It's fine. Task Force Unlikely. Last we saw them, they had gone to the city of. Drop my kazoo. They went to the city of Qzorlin, where they were confronted with the previous established web of lies they had spun with a fake drow house and all this stuff. They were confronted with that being reality, apparently. When they went to recruit the drow for a possible conflict against mind flayers, they encountered a matron mother that they had previously had some dealings with. While talking to her, they found out that the house that Gayle had made up was, in fact, sending them things. So Kaw took a manifest, used scrying on it to spy on the house, and yeah, it looked like a perfectly functional house in Menzoberranzan. So the group decided to teleport, to go back to Gonzalgrim, teleport to Mithril Hall, and from Mithril Hall walk to Menzoberranzan. Because that would be much quicker than walking the approximately 15-day journey from here to Menzoberranzan. Not undoable, for sure, but this way it's about a day instead of 15. Okay. So, you all head back to the city of Gontalgrim. You climbed up that chain, you took a nap. Gayle finished reading her journal, so we're picking up back there. You're a couple hours outside of Gontalgrim, and you're in camp. Is there anything you all would like to do, or just book it to Gontalgrim?
Tarbek's gonna rub his temples in a very way, mentally preparing himself for what's gonna happen tomorrow.
Okay. There it is.
Anyone else gonna do something?
Okay.
Gail's not too worried about anything. Well, she's not worried about Tarbek's family. She's worried about other things.
Don't believe that.
Not worried about the drow house she made up being
That
real
is-
all of a sudden.
Yeah, apparently real.
If Gale's not worried about it, then Navira is.
I mean, two of Kaw's friends are stressed, so Kaw's kind of just like absorbing stress from them.
I don't know what's happening in chat. Okay, yeah, so stressed breakfast. Quiet seething at the table. Okay, perfect. You all head uneventfully back to the city of Gontalgrim, where once again you are greeted with a grand former dwarven stronghold that is a mere shadow of its former self, even with arguably the most famous dwarf in all of Toril as their king.
Hello there, Brunor.
Hi. He nods and he says, "You get on well with the drow, then?"
I
Can anybody ever truly get on well with the drow?
Kaw's just gonna kind of glance over at Gayle. As I see it, yes.
I mean, I'm pretty friendly.
Without a doubt.
Bruno nods and he says, "I've met a few, yeah."
She's
get
gonna
the
have a Peter B. Parker, I re-examine my personal biases kind of moment.
He kind of looks forlornly like, "Yeah, those were the days."
Aye. Back in 3rd edition. My king, we're going to be making the trip to Mithril Hall, and we request the services of a teleport circle if that's possible.
Aye, yes. Unlike Gauntlebrim, the Mithril Hall circle will not teleport you into the stronghold itself, but just outside, into a keep at the foot of kind of one of the peaks of the mountain. Not quite at the foot of it; it's at like a steep kind of thing. He says, but if you're coming from here, you're going, and Tarbek, your clan is from there. It's not going to be a problem. It's to keep out invaders, however.
He's going to sort of hold out this like medallion that has sort of his clan sigil on it, which I imagine is kind of like a fiery anvil or something.
He holds up his sigil, which is from his. He kind of pulls it out, which is literally a mug of ale.
Aye.
And he says, no, the Cinderbeards have served Mithril Hall and the Battlehammer as well, Tarbek.
For, oh god, got to be at least 1,200 years? Got to be at least that long.
It's a long time.
Yes.
I was king for many of them. I'm the 9th, 12th, and 13th king of Mithril Hall.
Look, it gets a little bit confusing. They sort of swap between the editions, and there's the spell plague. It's kind of a mess. It's hard to keep track of time.
It's a lot. I've been reincarnated. I've been unincarnated. It's complicated.
Aye. Anyways,
but he says it can certainly be arranged.
Aye, thank you kindly.
And he says, if you visit the Queen, tell her, hello from me. A good sort. Queen Dagnabbit.
Wait, what?
Queen Dagnabbit. The first queen of Mithril Hall. It's her actual name.
Did someone drop a rock on the mother's foot while she was naming her?
I believe it's actually a family name.
I will be respectful, and I'm sure in Dwarven it means something very prestigious.
Kind of nods.
I was just gonna kind of look at Tarbek like, don't you speak Dwarven?
I actually don't. I do, but I don't know what that means.
Reply hazy, try again.
Her name is Dagnabbit Waybeard. Her mother's name was Dagnabbit, but spelled differently. And then her mother was a Dagna. Her grandmother was Dagna, rather.
It's a matronymic then.
Yeah. Yep. And she was she's the first queen of Mithril Hall, and she was a general in the last war.
War of Many Arrows?
Yes.
Tarbek has some baggage with that one. Alright, then. Well, I'm ready when you are. We should probably making our way there.
He kind of, and you are dismissed, and he leans back down and kind of still has that far off look in his eyes, like, yeah, good times.
Before we go, my king, yes. I realize this may be a bit of a selfish request, but I did not exactly part from my family on the best of terms, and I think my returning might be a little better received if I were to come back to them with a title of sorts.
Yes.
Did you already get a title?
The thing we talked about last time. Yes, he will. He will. Tarbek. We were going to do. I was planning on a big thing, but Tarbek, come forward.
Well, I realized you were planning on... Okay.
Koth thaumaturges and makes the noise of a cheering crowd.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. And then he's going to sort of walk up to the king and said, "Is anyone here aside from?" Okay, right. I evacuated everyone because of the Draknor. Okay then.
Okay.
Yeah, no one's gonna be around.
Okay.
Navira will look at Tarbek and gesture to her and Gayle, like, what are we, chopped liver?
Of course, but it's
The crowd
just...
briefly starts booing.
I was kind of hoping my nephew would be. It's fine. It's. We'll do
We'll
like
throw a big party once we get back.
Yeah, that's that's a good one. Good idea.
You know, like when people have the reception, like for weddings, and I'm not too familiar with this practice. It's whatever. Get on with it.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, this is a pandemic knighting. Okay.
Crowd cheering again.
Everyone's on a Zoom call. It's fine.
Yes. Yes. Hold on. I'm sending.
I did just have the thought. It's like, is there some way I can BS, like, reverse scry something to someone?
You could someone could send to them and tell them to scry.
Navira will like take out a pad of paper.
I don't
and do, like,
think
a really
any of my
bad doodle
wards
of
are high enough
Tarbek
level
and
to
it
scry.
Okay.
Uh,
So, yeah, Navira can courtroom sketch this. It'll be fine. Okay.
Kaw's watching, so, like, there's that.
that's true. She can replicate it perfectly.
Gayle can make a tiny man with dancing lights and have a little dancing dude be next to you.
I do love a glow man.
Yep.
Okay.
It's not exact. You know what? I was gonna say it's not how I pictured it. This is exactly how I pictured it.
You can count on it.
Brunor takes the axe of the Dwarvish Lords, approaches Tarbek, flips it so it's blunted, blade facing away from Tarbek's head.
I appreciate that.
He taps him on each shoulder once, and he says, "I, King Brunor Battlehammer, of Mithril Hall, and formerly... I'm sorry, of Gauntlgrim and formerly Mithril Hall, do dub thee Lord Architect Tarbek Cinderbeard, third of his name, hero of the realm, friend to the king, royal master mason, warden and protector of Glorum."
Thank you kindly. And Tarbek is gonna just cry a little bit.
There we go. Aye.
All
Yeah.
hail short burns!
Aye. Okay.
I imagine that is what like the guards all say, just all in unison. Ah, aye.
Yeah, the guards at the back, they were kneeling when the king stood and stuff, and they stand, and there's distant applause.
Thank you.
It's a big room.
We gave it as much pomp and circumstance as we could pull out of thin air, okay?
Look, you know what? I appreciate it, Lord Master Mason, or... Okay, I'm gonna have to write all that down. We dwarves really do love our long titles. Yes, Lord Architect is a great title.
Yes, definitely.
You could just... people probably should just call me Lord for short. I don't think that whole thing really needs to... Anyways, let's get to the teleport circle.
Only when you're entering rooms for the first time. That's usually when the full thing goes. But yeah, Tarbek could rightfully be addressed as Lord. He's not a Royal Highness or Majesty, but Lord.
You guys don't have to call me that, by the way. Although I have a feeling you wouldn't even if I asked you to.
Nope.
Absolutely not.
Cannot predict now, Lord Architect.
In the king's voice, even.
In Brunor's voice.
Okay.
Actually, you know what? I might need you to do that when I walk into my family's hall. That could probably maybe change a couple minds. Maybe.
Absolutely.
Okay. The king goes back to his throne and once again leans casually on one of the arms. And he says, whenever you would like to use the teleportation circle, it is at your disposal.
All right, then. I'd like to use the teleportation circle.
And you all head over to it. As a stuffy wizard, kind of. The one on duty today, seems to be a half elf, and kind of adjust their spectacles, and they say, "Where to, sir?"
Mithril Hall, if you please.
Yes. They walk about and inscribe some runes with some chalk, and when you all walk in to the circle, you bamf away. And you appear in a circle in a small open keep yard, where you can see several dwarvish soldiers kind of walking around. They look at you all briefly when you're not, some sort of giant or something. They're like, cool. A couple of them wave at you. They see Tarbek, they wave. But walking about, and they... People who watch on YouTube don't get half the shit we do, probably.
Nope.
Walking up, the wizard on this end looks startled. Did someone teleported through? Yes. Can I help you, sirs and madams?
Hello there. I'm Tarbek Cinderbeard. Of
the Mithril Hall Cinderbeards.
Glorum Cinderbeards. It's a complex story.
He kind of shuts up, like, oh,
yeah,
that guy.
Okay, so you do know the story then. I didn't realize news traveled that fast around here. So, I was, just passing through. No need to stay longer than we need to. Probably best to just keep on going right to our destination. Right, guys?
Sounds all right.
You say so, Tarbek.
Signs point to yes.
Do you still know your way through the maze, Master Tarbek?
I probably do.
Probably.
You probably do?
Like,
I don't know, Andy.
We're gonna
Do
go
I?
ahead and pull out an old augury for that. If we just let Tarbek lead us, how's that gonna go?
Tarbek, give me a survival check.
Oh boy, do I get advantage?
You get double your proficiency on it.
Okie dokie.
Oh no,
That's gonna be
do advantage. That's easier.
actually double. I prefer double proficiency. 1 second. I don't have my physical dice, so I gotta get up a dice roller.
Now available on D&D Beyond.
Or you can just
Okay, that-
roll 1d20 into Google and it'll do it for you.
Available on D&D Beyond. Blowing up my spot, Jay. You trying to make a pitch.
That's a dirty 20.
Okay.
No, wait, that's a dirty 21.
With augury, the answer is wheel.
You may rely on it.
And this is to find our way to Mithril Hall, correct?
Yeah, so when Mithril Hall has 2 entrances. One of them you have to climb a cliff and then it's like through a waterfall, and nobody uses that one because it's a pain in the ass. And then this one is there is a complicated maze, which there are maze guides that they can just assign you, or people who have done it enough just know the way through the maze. But it's to prevent people from... It's a defensive tactic. But you've lived here before and been here before, so you know your way through it. So once you go up, you're going to leave here, there's going to be some big stone doors. You walk through them, you complete a maze, and then you're into... let's see. You can go to Dritz's bedroom, but once you're done the maze, you can either go into the mines or to the Undercity.
The Undercity is where all the dwarves are, correct?
Yes. So the parts of Mithra Hall is nice and big. Oh, that's not gonna work.
It's the largest dwarven stronghold, I think, in Toril. It's one of them.
It is definitely the biggest. At this point in history, though, I don't think it's the most populated. Simply because it's been kind of taken over so many times. There's a map of it. There's also the song from Mithra Hall above it.
How tall is the cliff and waterfall, out of curiosity?
That's a great question, and let me tell you the answer. Is there a scale on this map? Of course there's not.
Maps aren't supposed to be useful.
Man, I didn't think I'd ever be that person until they stopped putting scales on maps.
Mm-hmm. Same.
It's a dimension door range.
Oh, good. You gleaned my question.
Yes.
Okay, so the cliff is an option.
It is an option.
For some of us. I don't know if I have another 400-foot chain.
So the downside about the cliff entrance it is on the other side of the mountain, so you'd have to walk around at the base of the mountain.
Let's not do that. Let's just go through the maze.
Also, there's a shortcut. If you climb the mountain, you can drop down a chimney. That's a shortcut.
It is a shortcut.
It seems like a very painful shortcut.
It's not a good shortcut, but it is a shortcut.
Depends how good you are at climbing. We shouldn't take the shortcut.
Yes.
We almost TPK'd to a chain. Let's not take the shortcut.
Let's just go the normal way, please. Or as normal as you can get in an underground dwarven city.
Okay, so what's the name I have to do? It's an item. Okay. Okay, perfect. So you walk up. You leave this little fort. It's, again, not very big or well fortified, if we're being honest. And you walk up a couple hundred feet through a snowy little forest to two very large granite doors that have dwarven runes all carved in them.
Yep, this is the place. Tarbek all of a sudden is like, he's like cleaning up his armor and like he's braiding his beard, and he clearly wants to look as like proper and put together as possible.
Kaw is going to give him a pat on the back, and he now has advantage on everything charisma based for the next hour.
Oh, thank you. I needed that.
Lord Architect.
So do we knock? Or do you just want to go in?
These are covered with dwarven runes, these doors, correct?
Yes.
Is there a way that I know to open them?
Yes, let's see.
Because I did live here for 100 years. I don't know, have they changed the runes in the past 50 years?
They have not changed the runes, and the runes look very old. The doors themselves are, they are ancient. So there are dwarf guards here. If you approach and if you say, I'm Tarbek Cinderbeard, blah, blah, and introduce yourself, they just open the doors for you. So there's no like magical, but it's just physical protection. And then down this hallway, before the actual maze itself, are a bunch of continuous light torches, glowing a faint red.
Yeah. So Tarbek will sort of give all the pleasantries and sort of slowly lead the rest of the party towards his former home, which is the Undercity of Gauntlgrim. Or, sorry, the Undercity of Mithril Hall. My bad.
It's okay, you mentioned the more important one out of habit.
Don't tell them that. They're not exactly. It's like a bit of a rivalry thing going on, even though there's like no people in Gauntlgrim. It's very strange.
Not that many people in Mithril Hall anymore either. Okay. As you enter the maze, Kaw, can I get just a straight wisdom check from you, please?
Oh, fun. Uh, 22?
Excellent. Okay. As you are walking through the maze, and Tarbek is leading you, there are less light spells, so Kaw will have to rely on either her own light spells or her friends to guide her, because it is presuming, hey, if you're a dwarf, you know how to get through here. And you can see. There are still some, because dwarves do need some light to see, just a lot less. But as you're all weaving through, and it's very complicated, and occasionally Tarbek has to stop and be like, no, pit trap, dead end, spike trap, this way. And keep going through. You feel sort of tugging at you, at your heart almost. You think there is a shadow crossing somewhere in Mithril Hall. And it occasionally just tugs at you, and you can almost feel like a whisper on the very stagnant air that just occasionally says, like, shimmer gloom.
So, I mean, as soon as she notices, she's going to kind of, like, stop for a minute, shake a little bit, maybe whisper something to herself, and then keep going with everyone else.
Okay. As you're walking, you pass. You come to the end of the maze, and you pass a little carved door that has a sign that just says Dritzwarden is out currently. And you walk past that.
Is it worth stone shaping his door shut?
Reply hazy. Try again.
Yeah, keep in mind, that's Brunor's best friend. You want your title taken away, you mess with Dritz.
Basically.
Good taste in lords, bad taste in friends.
Yeah. So you all continue walking, and as you are now past the maze, you can hear the sound of furnaces and smithing tools, metal being pressed and shaped down a couple different hallways. Even out of the mazes, it's still pretty winding, and there's a just spider web of tunnels. I gotta keep getting notifications for something, everybody. There. Just go to sleep. Okay. So you enter something called the Oval Chamber. What's the Oval Chamber do again? Doesn't do anything.
Is this where the 10 doors are?
Not notable.
This whole map is kind of like...
That's where the 10 doors are. I'm just reading the I have notes on what every. Oh, there's the history.
Whole map is a map that has been through several editions.
Yes, and several different inhabitants. Okay, not
Usually
important, apparently.
dwarves, but sometimes not dwarves.
Okay.
Yeah, you could tell Tarbek is getting more and more frustrated as they go further. He's just like muttering to himself. It's about like, oh, they don't know shit about architecture. It's just I don't see why they can't just make this the normal way. If they want security, there's so many more intuitive ways to do it, etc., etc.
They're just hoping
And he's
people
like,
get lost and die down here.
yeah. Oh, this is why nobody likes us. It's just on and on and on.
Okay, so you
I
passed.
was mostly distracted, but during that she is going to mention something about formal armor.
Okay. Eventually, you all make it
Right.
into the Undercity, which is a large open cavern that has up at the top a bunch of tiny tunnels leading straight up in it, air tunnels, and then built into the circular walls of the chamber are hundreds of doors. And you can see the most dwarves you have seen so far, but it's still only about 100 or so milling about the bottom of the Undercity.
Question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming to get to where we need to go to get to Menzoberranzan, we have to go through the Undercity?
So yes, so there's a couple ways you can go. If you go through the Undercity, you can go then through the Underdark to get there. If you go, if you kind of skirt the Undercity, you can go through the waterfall. And through the waterfall, you can go over land to get to Menzoberranzan, and then you just have to go back down to the Underdark.
I mean, the waterfall seems pretty the safer path, I would think.
It's also the most cinematic option. I mean, we get to walk through a waterfall.
Yeah.
Alright then, waterfall it is. What time is it, by the way?
Let's say 3 o'clock.
AM or PM?
PM.
Alright, I'm thinking in that case maybe we should, like, rest and, I guess we're gonna have to meet Tarbek's family.
Oh no!
See, Tarbek doesn't want to, but Daniel wants to. Tarbek's gonna sort of look at I guess, is there a sundial or something? I don't know.
There are water clocks down here. So there are like actual, mechanical timepieces. Big
He'll look at the
face.
water clocks, he'll look around, and he'll turn to the rest of this party and say, it would probably be best if we stay the night at my family's residence.
Can Kaw spot the closest inn from here?
Let's see. Undercity. Yes. Yeah,
She's just gonna point at that as an option. It's like, she
I
can
know.
very much tell Tarbek does not want to do this.
Look, I have not seen my parents in their 50 years, at least. Probably longer. I can't even remember. And I'm not looking forward to seeing my grandfather or my great-grandfather, but gonna have to do it sooner or later. It's not since the divorce that I've been home, and I don't know what's changed, but it's not as if I can just run from it forever.
Signs point to yes, and Kaw's just gonna give Tarbek a hug.
Thank
No
you.
magic, just a hug.
I appreciate it. You have been very good to me when we've been traveling together, Lady Kaw. And All of you have been very good to me, but I think we've been at this for quite a while, Kaw, and I'm very thankful. He's gonna sort of pat Kaw on the back as they're hugging.
Happy bird noises.
And then Tarbek is going to start marching towards the would it be called a? It wouldn't be called a stronghold. I guess it would be just called a domicile, a residence, a castle,
an estate, maybe. Yeah,
an estate, the Cinderbeard estate.
The Cinderbeard estate, yes.
At Glorum, or at Mithril Hall.
Okay.
Glorum is a Cinderbeard estate.
So you all walk through several tunnels and approach a not ornate but very finely crafted doorway portal, but not magical, just a literal portal. And written in Dwarvish above it, it just says Clan Cinderbeard, established, some absolutely ancient number and probably a different year system than DR. And yeah, there's just a simple little door. It doesn't look like it's locked or anything.
Tarbek is going to reach forward and open it up.
Okay. So you open it, and expanding into a large cavern is a incredibly well-constructed, sturdy little castle, essentially. It's in a big cave. There is there's a bunch of mushrooms and kind of mosses and lichens that simulate a garden. There's walls built on the edge of the cave structure, so it still has that kind of yarded feel. Built of variously stone and metal, intricate and pretty. And there is a winding pathway to the little pillared entry hall. And you all, especially Kaw, can hear the laughing of dwarf children kind of frolicking about the grounds.
Tarbek's going to take a deep breath and just start walking.
Okay. Tarbek heads forward. What would everyone else like to do?
I guess just follow Tarbek.
I mean, follow Tarbek, but this is one of the neater things that she's spent underground, because Kaw has spent a surprising amount of time underground now because of this party. Thanks, guys. But she's following Tarbek. She's just kind of taking it in the surroundings.
And you can see under here because there are a lot more continuous light spells kind of on the ceiling and on towers and pillars. It's actually well lit, because who wants to see in black and white everything all the time? So you would say the grounds are well lit, and they can probably crank them up and down. Okay. You all approach the entry hall. You are.
Is my audio working?
We just heard a bunch
You're
of
on the laptop mic again.
Static, and we can't hear you very loudly. Hold on a second.
Every frickin' time.
Hold please. Nope. And we're back. Okay. So you all approached Tarbek. There is no one in the entry hall. This is not uncommon. your family has never employed many like servants or butlers or anything like that. There is a big gong in the entry hall, though.
Do I know? I'm assuming this is like some kind of like do I know that what this gong is for?
Yeah, it's a doorbell essentially. Yeah.
It is temptation, is what it is.
Ring the gong.
Tarbek is going. Is there a mallet nearby, or am I just supposed to ring it with my hammer?
Yeah, you know what? There isn't, because you're just supposed to bring your own hammer.
Tarbek's gonna reel back with his ancestral guardian hammer and just.
And it activates all the traps. No. They changed the security password while you were gone.
Yeah, it's 2 dings now.
You fool. Yeah, so the gong reverberates. There's a sound for Lady Kaw. She really wants to wake someone up.
I mean, if she really wants to wake someone up, she still has the screaming undead mushroom sound. And the metal scraping against steel, but I'm still adding this to the list.
You got a playlist of alarms now. Okay. We're good. The gong reverberates, and coming from upstairs, down a set of stairs, Tarbek, is your mother. And she starts to walk out of the hallway, and she kind of, without looking towards you, she says, "I didn't know we were expecting guests," and then turns to look at you and just stops.
Hi, Mom. It's been a while.
It has.
Tarbek's just gonna run up and hug her.
She seems a little dumbstruck, but accepts your hug and starts to tearfully hug you back.
I'm sorry I was gone for so long. You know why I had to leave.
She cannot find any words right now. You hear very loudly coming out of a different hallway, just kind of like, and everyone can hear this, it's just very loud stomping. Your father comes out of the other hall and says, "What's all this?"
Hi.
Tarbek looks at the group, looks at Tarbek, and he says, "Okay."
Hi. I missed you, Dad.
Oh, 50 years and you missed me.
I sent sendings. Look, I didn't want to make things more difficult by being here. It's not.
So you thought it would be easier if you just left then?
I told you where I was going.
It was bad enough going through the thing, but then you had to leave.
I figured the last thing that you'd want me around is...
The last thing we'd want is our son to be around. After we lost... He stomps back into his office. And your mother kind of... He doesn't mean it.
He's right, though. I shouldn't have left. Not for so long.
You had to do what you had to do, Tarbek.
Look, after the divorce, I knew that Clan Frostpike was, well,
That's-
look, they were at our throats, and I just didn't want to compromise anything with the war by being here, and
Yeah.
I just
her voice kind of cracks. Like, let's maybe not mention the D word. She looks down. Are you going to introduce me to your traveling companions?
well, this is Lady Kaw,
Charmed.
and these are Gayle and Navira.
Hi, Tarbek's mom.
She introduces herself as Brinara.
I don't suppose my old room is still around?
We didn't turn it into some sort of exercise room, if that's what you're asking. No.
Oh no, I bet more so if someone else has taken it. I
I
realize I've been gone a long time.
No one has taken your room, Tarbek. I mean, it's been a while since anyone was in there, though, so it might be a tad dusty.
Nothing I'm not used to. Alright then, I'll show the rest of you around. I hope things haven't changed too much.
She kind of laughs at your joke because they're dwarves, so no, the answer is no, they haven't. They haven't changed at all. There are some maybe more grandchildren than when you were last here, but that's about it.
Well, they were no, they're not going to recognize me anyways.
No, not past a familial resemblance. Okay. Okay.
So,
Mhm.
yeah, Tarbek's gonna start making his way to his room and pointedly not trying to make eye contact with any of the other dwarves around.
Okay, yeah, you occasionally pass like one of your cousins or one of your aunts or uncles, and they kind of look at you like, "Oh shit, dinner's gonna be weird." They're like, one of them walks by and like starts doing calculations in their head of like, who else is in the estate right now? How weird is dinner going to be? Oh no, it's not going to be good.
I don't know. It depends if the scion is here,
It's just like,
and he's always here. So
before you left, your mother would have asked if you did indeed plan to stay for dinner.
I suppose I owe you guys that much. A bit of an explanation as to where I've been these past years.
Yeah, she says, this will always be your home. Feel free to make use of the rooms. And she says if you want to come back, she'll be in one of the sitting rooms. So you can always have tea with her in there. But right now, she's going to let you have your space. So yeah, walking around the estate, it's very well crafted. I don't know what else to say about it in that regard. There's a bunch of rooms, as I said, a bunch of like uncles and cousins and aunts and stuff like that. Occasionally, a swarm of children just runs by you, playing some sort of game. Yes. So, what would you like to do, Tarbek, at all?
First, I'd like to go see my older brother, Thonus, if possible, because his son has been, at Glorum for quite a long time.
Okay. Yeah, so you head to your brother's room. And yeah, if you knock on the door, he'll say enter.
He's gonna open up the door.
Your mic cut out again.
Oh, he's gonna open up the.
Here we
There you
go.
go.
He's gonna open up the door and say, "It's me, Thonus."
It's me.
Tarbek.
Oh. He turns around, and you all can see he's in a room that's covered wall to wall in shields. Just every square inch is covered in shields. And he kind of wide-eyed looks at you, and he says, Tarbek? As in
Hi.
Tarbek?
Yeah, your little brother Tarbek.
Well, knock me down.
I couldn't if I tried.
He kind of
But
smiles.
I'm gonna.
Points at Navira.
Yep. And he's, oh boy, okay, yeah.
I mean, if you want me to.
Ach, no. Sorry, ach, nay.
I'm gonna give him a hug.
Yeah, and he kind of claps you on the back, and he says, what's it been? 50. It's been 50.
It has indeed been 50.
A cool 50. Oh. Well, welcome home. Kind of looks at shield. Anybody need a shield?
He's gonna
I
look
mean,
at
Kaw
Kaw.
is just kind of like looking around at this room because it's real shiny in here.
Shield. I best shields in all of Mithril Hall. Who needs a shield?
That might be an understatement. Best shields in all Toral, quite probably.
That is correct. Shield?
I got one, and then he's gonna sort of tap.
You cut out again,
You cut it
Dan.
out again, Dan. Nope. Laptop mic. Okay, and we're back. Tarbek was showing his brother his shield.
Yep.
Did he make the shield, or did you make the shield?
I think this particular shield is actually the shield of smiles that I got. Like, it was a minor magic item that I
Yes,
got right at the
yes.
start of the campaign.
Yes,
Oh,
indeed.
yeah.
You had that.
And he kind of looks
You
at
have
it.
that, and Gayle has a cape of billowing, if I recall.
That's right.
Click. He looks at it and he's kind of like, yeah, not bad. Magic. That's good.
Oh, look, it doesn't hold a candle to yours, but
From your lips to Moradin's ears. Sorry, pointing down to Moradin's ears.
you'd be surprised how accurate that's been lately.
Yes.
Tarbek's being modest, you know. He
Okay.
did craft this armor that kept me from being killed by Tiamat herself, so
Kind
I'd
of
say he's got a trick or two up his sleeve.
it punches you on the shoulder, Tarbek.
Ah,
And if you think
The
that's
shield
cool, then
stuff.
she'll pull out her sword, present it. It's Tarbek tough,
Good marketing. That's what every
right?
craftsman needs. Good marketing.
yeah, that's actually part of the reason we're down here. We think someone might be infringing on our copyright.
Ooh, dirty business that is. No, that's no good. That's no good. No. Now, do you need?
As,
Do you need an intellectual property attorney. Because Clan Inkwell, 2 down.
He's about to say no, but then he turns to the rest of the party. He's like, do we need one of those?
Cannot predict now. Reply hazy. Try again.
I'll take a business card on my way out for sure.
He goes to his desk and he flips through a Rolodex.
Oh, thank you very much.
Dwarven Rolodex, so it's supposed to be round, but it's just a cube.
It's just like I picture like in in Flintstones, everything is just the paper is made of stone. That's what I'm picturing a Dwarven Rolodex is.
Yeah, the filing
Full of
cabinet's
little
huge.
stone slabs.
Yeah.
Just like a clay tablet that gets put in Tarbek's hands with the contact information on it.
Cuneiform letters.
Yes. It's twice as small as it used to be. Amazing technology nowadays.
Yes,
that
definitely.
Sure is amazing.
Don't need no printing presses down here.
Kaw pulls out a piece of paper, copies down all of the information because she doesn't want to carry a stone slab around.
What dark magic is this?
Actually, yes, I like that better. She is going to take a piece of paper, put it up against the business card, then do a rubbing on it.
Wait, I thought we invented the printing press. Why can't we use the printing press?
It's not traditional.
But why did we invent it?
Thank you.
It's blasphemous technology.
Elf girl. I don't know.
Gayle.
Gayle. Thank you, Gayle. Businesswoman right there.
You got
Not
it.
wrong.
Yes.
Well, it's very good to see you, brother. I'm sorry to bother you. Dom Hall's been he's visited, correct?
Yes, and we get his midwinter cards every year.
Wonderful. I'm sorry we couldn't bring along this time. There was a bit of a Draknor incident.
A bit of a... That's nice.
Yeah, you know what? That's fair. I don't think.
You roll a 2.
Anyways, that's
Doesn't keep up to date with current events.
that's valid, honestly. It's kind of an unknowable horror type situation, so
Straight into the acceptance stage.
we took care of it.
Yeah, you would have told him if his son was dead or something. Like, that would have been... Didn't even cross his mind.
I would have led with that if
Yeah.
your son was in danger. He's
Hopefully.
fine. He just left for a bit. He's coming back soon.
Yeah, no,
All right. Well, I'll be at dinner tonight.
Yep.
I know.
You know... He's, like, here, right? Because he never leaves.
Yeah, I know. Ragnar's here, and it's gonna be, why did you ruin whatever? It's the whole deal.
Did you see Dad?
Yeah, I have the feeling he's probably more worried about what Ragnar's gonna say than upset that I'm here.
He talked to you?
Which, briefly, for a moment.
An improvement.
Oh dear, what has he been saying about me?
Look, he took it hard, bud.
I've been, sending.
It's not the same.
He's got 2 other sons.
So? It doesn't make you not exist, Tarbek.
Well, I was kind of hoping that would be the case, if I'm being honest with you.
He was hurt.
I know. I was too, though.
I'm not saying you weren't or you shouldn't be. Kind of looking at everyone else like, I know. I know. I don't know. I know how adventuring parties work. Whatever. How long have you been together? How far into tragic backstories are we?
Oh god, what was it? 37 episodes? So we're at that stage.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You might want to fill us in.
Now he says
technically, Kaw and Tarbek have been adventuring together since before TFU was a thing. So.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
Over a year, almost 2. Year and a half.
Dwarves is like 8 weeks.
I don't know. Tarbek and Kaw have probably been together for at least 2 years. We can figure that out at some point.
Anyways.
No, he says, look, not saying it wasn't hard on you. Of course it was hard on you. But think of it from his point of view. He lost his grandson, and then he lost you. That this family means everything to him. He just took it hard.
Oh, I was worried that the consequences would be even worse if I stayed.
And he was worried about you. Tarbek? He's a daft old fool, but he loves you.
I know. And how did I treat him? I just left. Barely even said goodbye to him. Didn't even tell him how long I was going to be gone.
Yeah, what's it been? 50. It's been 50.
It's been 50. 50 plus, actually. I think it might be closer to 60.
Kind of looks at the rest of the group. What's that like for you all?
It's longer than I've been alive.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
ditto.
Yes.
And you're like an adult. Okay.
I mean, yeah.
You know, it's like fruit flies. They don't live that long.
Okay, wow.
Mm.
Yeah,
Screaming mushroom sound.
Oh, that's unpleasant.
Weirdly enough, possible that some of the people here have heard that before.
The
I'm
scream
alive out
mushrooms?
of pure spite, so.
To live. Okay.
About 100 years. That's how long they live. About 100 years.
Really?
Kaw just kind of like gazes into the middle distance and sits down.
Sorry, how long does who live? Were you talking about humans?
No, I think Kenku. I was curious about Kenku.
Kenku are about, I want to say 60. Kenku are 80. Goblins are 60.
Yeah, it looks like they have slightly abbreviated human lifespans. Maturity at 12. Usually live to 60. Goblin lifespan is dictated by lifestyle choices.
Theoretically 60.
Yes, it's theoretically 60.
I like to imagine goblins are immortal, but no one has ever lived past
Exactly.
60.
Exactly. Your brother kind of looks at you and looks at your friends and says, "What kind of? It's been a long time since I adventured. What have you all been up to? What's the adventuring scene like these days?"
Tarbek's gonna hold out the ancestral hammer of Clan Cinderbeard.
Kind of points at that. Okay, we're gonna put a pin in that.
Yeah, you know, Tarbek, the oldest Tarbek, the first Tarbek.
I was gonna say there's like 4 of them.
3 of them. Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Tarbek number 1. Found him.
Not dead?
Surprisingly, no. He's like probably the equivalent of 400, but there was some kind of magic or something.
Always some kind of magic or something.
Yeah, and then he left with his with a friend of his, and they're adventuring now, I think, or maybe they came back here. I don't know.
This grand adventure we call life. He hasn't shown back up here.
He's probably planning. He is probably planning to go out in a blaze of glory. Then I would not be surprised if we find his corpse 50 years from now with its axe buried in the skull of a dragon. Not the first relative we've buried that way.
Now we'd add him to the crypt.
We have a crypt specifically for that method of death.
Mm-hmm.
It's the nicest one.
It is the nicest one.
It's not even close. Alright, I need to... What else do I need to do? Andy, what else does Tarbek need to do?
Tarbek can do whatever he wants. There are other relatives about. But dinner would also not be terribly long off from now.
Alright, Tarbek is going to, in that case, lead everyone to his old room, which I assume dwarven rooms are quite small, because they're all sort of bundled together closely.
Is this like teenage Tarbek room? Is there like a wagon poster on the wall? Or
Tarbek was like 100 years old when he left,
okay.
So it's like adult Tarbek.
His favorite sports team banner on the
His
wall.
favorite sports team is still there,
Yeah.
but like they're probably disbanded by now.
The Mithril Hall log throwers.
Surprisingly enough, the sport was not log throwing.
Oh. They were a curling team.
Yeah.
Okay.
You think we have logs down here?
Logs outside.
No, but we do have stones.
Exactly. That's why we're good at curling. We were never allowed to take part, though, the Cinderbeards. We would just melt the ice.
No, you had to try to play stone ball, and let me tell you, kicking a rock, not fun.
Yeah, that's how I hurt my leg. For those not familiar with my Twitter account, I have a torn ACL that I just got repaired. Anyways, so Tarbek will make his way to his room. And
Okay.
Would he have shared his room with his ex?
Almost certainly, if they lived if they did not move to a separate house, then yes. Well, okay. It depends on how old-fashioned a Cinderbeard family is. You might have two separate rooms. You sleep in your dressing room. She sleeps in her dressing room. Kind of very down.
Or is it like I Love Lucy?
Yeah, two separate beds in the same room.
Maybe we chiseled out a separate room.
Yeah.
Tarbek is gonna enter and sort of take in the old sites, probably a bunch of his old work there. Has anything changed since he left?
Only two things noticeable. One, the door to your ex-wife's room has been stone-shaped over. And two, the room is, as your mother predicted, very dusty.
Tarbek is going to kind of look at the door that was stone-shaped over and put a hand on it and just sigh.
Okay, just leave it unplugged, and I'll crank your volume, and we can hear you.
Wonderful.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Great. So I'll put a hand on the stone-shaped wall and just kind of sigh. And then he will go and start tidying up, cleaning off his bed, which I'm assuming was just like a pile of rocks. I don't know what dwarves sleep on.
An uncomfortable stone slab.
I don't imagine it was a stone slab. This is probably like bedding, but like probably not very comfortable bedding.
Pile of rocks with a blanket on it.
The blanket is also made of rocks.
Of course it is. It's not actually made out of rocks. It is just a chainmail blanket, so it's really heavy.
It's a weighted blanket, helps him sleep.
Does not provide any heat retention. In fact,
No.
It actually cools you down.
Which is good because it's very stuffy down here, especially because I'm pretty sure the Cinderbeard household is probably it's like a hole in the ozone layer. It's like way hotter than the rest of the stronghold. And Tarbek is going to start looking around if there's any old letters or anything that his son might have left behind.
Yes, almost certainly there are some letters from, like, the front kind of thing.
And he's going to sort of tuck them away in his beard. And he's going to shed a single tear. He's going to take a deep breath and say, "We should probably get ready for dinner. This is not going to be an easy one."
Do you want to go to dinner?
No, but I have to.
I
The
mean,
way I see it, Tarbek, you don't have to do anything.
Well, then maybe I do want to, because I'm tired of running.
Whatever you want will help you.
You're going to help me make it through dinner with my family.
I mean, I'll punch any person I have.
Please do not punch anyone. I'm begging
Kaw's
you.
gonna, like, crack her knuckles, make a big show,
Please,
put up her dukes.
You would be
She's just trying to
punching
make
my
him laugh at this
grandfather.
point.
I don't want you to.
Just
The fact
blame it
that
on
you
the big
would.
tiefling friend.
The fact that you would, if it came to that, punch them is very much appreciated, but I would really much appreciate if you did not punch them.
Okay.
we will not punch them. Let me just check my mage hand spell.
As
No,
I
I-
see it, yes.
No one ever said I couldn't open hand slap anyone.
You didn't say anything about kicking them.
Yeah, kicking's on the table. Biting.
Excuse me, while I make sure to look up how many charges are on my Wand of Smiles.
Oh, I think it's at least 3.
At least 3.
I mean, I got a couple
Probably
of
3, 'cause I haven't
javelins
used it in a
and
minute.
given, So
But yeah, Tarbek is gonna clean up and put on his, formal armor.
Okay. Tarbek takes out his epaulets and bolts them on.
Basically. Take off his helmet, replace it with that nice, I don't know what it's called.
Circlet?
Yeah, the circlet.
Okay.
And I guess now, was he given any proof of his lordship?
There's Kaw, who has audio proof. Yeah, he probably would have been given a medal, or like something he could pin to his or clamp to his formal armor. That's like a war medal kind of thing.
He will clamp it there
Magnetic.
very proudly.
Yes. Clunk.
Rivet it in place.
All of you around Tarbek's room can see his old room. He's got a bunch of, finished or half-finished projects. There's some mail. There is a picture of Tarbek with his beautiful surfer hair.
Oh, like, Kaw is immediately just like,
We got another bot.
Yeah. I'll tag Marty.
Anyways, no, yeah, Tarbek is just gonna get ready for dinner. The most dramatic dinner that I think we're ever gonna have on this show. And we ate with Shemesha,
So
I'm
far.
pretty sure, that time. That's true.
No, we were at the spa with
So
Shemeshka.
far.
That was different. Which, like, don't issue a challenge in front of the DM, please.
Yeah, what do you want?
That's all I'm gonna say.
Dinner with Shemeska, Lou, and Tarbek's family? Let's do it. Asmodeus, you want him to show up? Let's go.
How many banished spells do I got?
Not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough.
Especially since that works on each of us, too.
Mm-hmm.
Tarbek banishes himself to the fire plane.
Okay. So, okay. Tarbek is getting prepared. Kaw, being in this area of Mithril Hall, you once again feel that kind of gentle tugging of the shadow crossing.
Does Gayle notice?
Closer, further.
Say that again, Jay. Sorry.
Closer or further?
Oh, closer. It is closer than before.
How closer?
I mean, it's still like a distance. Like, you wouldn't say it's anywhere in the Undercity itself, but you would say it's based on your kind of, as you walk through the Undercity, it's under the Undercity, kind of down, probably in the uppermost. No, probably before the Underdark, even.
So Kaw is just going to kind of look off for a little bit in just a random direction. It's the direction of the shadow crossing, but no one else can feel that. She's looking at it, kind of not realizing what she's doing. And she remembers that weird picture where Tarbek has hair.
Maybe the Shadowfell Tarbek has hair too.
Just
Kaw,
Yes?
what's up? Feeling all right?
Yes, definitely.
Okay then.
Cannot predict now.
What?
I'll ask again later then.
Yes.
All right. Do we want to time skip to dinner?
Does anyone else want to change for dinner? For dinner. It's called dinner for the dwarves. For dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't think
Nope.
I brought anything.
Turtleneck and coat.
That's
For
it.
Navira, formal wear was blood on the face, so she's gonna mix
Interesting.
that. I mean, if you didn't show up to a formal dinner in hell with the blood of your enemies, then you were considered a failure.
What's this? You couldn't even dress up for the occasion, Beelzebub?
It slay a couple of demons on your way here? God, why aren't you contributing to the cause?
You're really gonna cut yourself.
I mean,
and
there's
do
gotta-
that?
There's got to be a polishing cloth in Tarbek's room somewhere
Oh.
that Kaw can use on her bangles.
Yes.
So, like,
They glimmer like never before.
do
Indeed.
that. Gonna make sure her feathers are all in order.
She count them?
I mean, kinda, yeah. It's making sure they're all still pointing the same way.
Hey, you're all
Tarbek's gonna
road
use
weary.
thaumaturgy to like fluff his hair, or what little of it remains. He's got like the Greg Universe hair. It's like really long, but all in the back.
A mullet. That's called a mullet.
Yeah, it's called
yeah.
a mullet.
That's fair.
Okay. So you all head to dinner, which is in a large dining hall with a big long table, stone. There's a bunch of food already set out on it, and it's family style. Like there's no servants or anything like that. You elbow your way into a seat and you grab whatever food you can. There's a bunch of kids around, many of the relatives you saw earlier, and sitting at the far head of the table is a very old-looking dwarf with a big, long scar down one of their eyes and an eye patch covering that same eye, so that they have one exposed eye and one eye patch. And they're kind of quietly eating, occasionally like tutting at a grandkid or something like that, but just kind of eating. And the four of you enter, and there is like an audible like clang, 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 and then silence.
Oh boy, I didn't think it was this bad. Tarbek's gonna like slowly walk towards the table. And he will find an empty seat, and he will sit down very casually, and he will say, "It's very nice to be joining you all for dinner. Once again, it's been a long time."
A couple cousins kind of, oh, yeah, hello, Tarbek. Like, they start to kind of, yeah, like, there's like a kid, like, who's that? Why is it weird?
I look the same as. Okay.
They're like 20, or they've never met you before. They're just too young to remember you.
A mere child of 25.
Yes. Barely a beard, nor a chest hair upon their person.
Yeah, he's got as much facial hair as I do, and that's considered like a child.
I'm in kindergarten.
Oh, you're getting your kindergarten stubble.
My cat's breath smells like cat food.
What?
All right, Ralph.
It's Ralph Wiggum. I don't know, that's the voice I'm doing for whatever reason.
His name is Ralphier. the unusual.
Okay, so yeah, a couple people kind of and people scoot over so that your comrades can sit near you, and there's kind of a quiet kind of like, okay, this is going to be fine. Your mother is kind of like, yes, it is going to be fine, to a couple people around you, like, yes, like we're all family here. Let's just deal with it, everybody. Your father has his head down, and your grandfather is burning a hole in you. Or great-grandfather.
Where is my grandfather anyways?
Your grandfather's at the other end of the table, and he has just not stopped eating. And he kind of looks up, and at some point he's like, huh? Hey, Tarbek's here.
Gerald.
I have a new second favorite, Cinderbeard.
How you doing, bud?
Doing all right, Grandpa.
Get that 5 coins I send you every year for your birthday?
Yes, thank you. I've been saving them.
Good.
Get those ties I sent you?
Smart. I did. And then he slurps soup, the loudest you have ever heard anyone slurp soup.
I know all of these characters' names. I made them all. But I didn't expect Beryl to be a soup slurper.
There are a couple people around him who are like, oh.
Yeah, if you keep doing that, I'm gonna be one of them.
Yeah, no, that would drive me crazy, so I will stop.
But now Kaw has it in her repertoire.
Oh, now she does.
Yeah.
She wasn't going to. Now she does.
Darn it.
Old man, soup slurp.
.mp3.
.wav. Okay, yeah. So your great grandfather is glaring a hole. Your grandfather is just like, "Hey, Tarbek's back. It's been 50 years. Who gives a shit? Everybody, like, come on." Who hasn't done a thing left for 50 years and they come back?
Mira is doing an intimidating stare down at anyone who's giving like awkward or menacing glances to Tarbek. Just like full on tiefling muscle intimidation.
You don't want to look. If Ragnar is one remaining eye, he'll challenge you to a staring contest, and he will win eventually.
Oh, she does not doubt that, and she's like has deferred to him. But any like of the like sniggering aunts or like prying cousins, it's like you start.
I like to imagine it's like a very long table, so that like they're far away, probably far away that they wouldn't be able to hear each other talk, but like still they can see each other.
Yeah, there's occasional, after Navira glares at them, I for one welcome Tarbek back into Clan Cinderbeard. I welcome it. Too quiet without you, bud. Is that his predominant thing? I don't remember.
No, I'm not the only one who left. There were other people who were coming and going, but
Navira fully recognizes Ragnar's intimidation superiority here. Like, she can't outmatch that eye patch.
Like, Tarbek never told us that his great-grandpa was Odin.
A raven lands on his shoulder.
Side note, now Navira wants an eye patch.
Side note, Kaw wants Navira to keep both her eyes.
No, it's just for intimidation occasionally.
I mean...
Yeah, you just kind of flip it up when you don't need it.
Yeah. So your grandfather is like, yeah, great, he's back. Your mother is trying to keep the peace. Navira is intimidating people into liking you again. It's just like high school all over. Your father is still being weird, and your great-grandfather is actively being mean. And by mean, I mean glary. It's glary. Just glary.
If Tarbek's great-grandfather is being mean, Gayle is going to cast Mage Hand.
Okay.
Gayle is going to make a mistake.
Okay, Gayle. Please end that sentence.
I am a trickster cleric, or a trickster rogue, so I can make the hand invisible.
Mm-hmm.
And she's going to try to put, I guess, like, are there any candles around?
Oh, yep.
She will try to sort of surreptitiously, like, knock a candle into the guy's soup.
Ooh, okay. Give me a sleight of hand check.
Okay.
Hold, please, because I don't think that's something that Blessing of the Trickster helps.
Oh. That's a 9.
Okay. Well, luckily this hand's invisible. So, you're kind of trying to ease the hand, and instead of knocking a candle into the soup, the hand just slaps the soup, and it splashes like a bunch of people around him. And they all kind of like, what the? Come on. Like, really? And they're all looking at him like, well, that was... Like, no need to take it out on us. We know you're mad.
Ha! Me looking asshole.
Turn to Gayle with like... Tarbek will turn to Gayle with the same kind of intensity that his great-grandfather is staring at him and just be like...
I didn't do it.
Navira's gonna high five the mage hand under the table.
Kaw's going to lean back behind Tarbek, clap Gayle on the back behind Tarbek, and then go back to whatever she was doing.
Tarbek's going to stand up. He's going to start walking to the head of the table.
Okay.
Well, task force unlikely really just walked in here like, today I will cause problems on purpose, huh?
Oh yeah.
Okay, Tarbek, so you start walking to the head of the table. What's your passive perception, Tarbek?
Passive perception is 15.
Okay, you do hear one of your cousins go, "It's your funeral," like as you're walking. Okay. You walk over. Your great-grandfather has taken a rag and he's trying to sop up his armor. You just kind of
thaumaturgy it away.
Sure, yeah, and it becomes clean. And he slowly turns up his head to look at you.
Tarbek's not going to say anything. He's going to take his medal of lordship and he's going to slam it down on the table in front of him.
Okay.
And he's going to kind of tap it with 2 fingers.
Loudly, with thaumaturgy, Lord Architect of Glorum, Tarbek Cinderbeard.
Your great-grandfather will say, look, and what does it do to repair the damage you've done to our reputation with Clan Frostpike?
I don't know if there's anything I can do to repair their reputation.
He says there's something you could have done 50 years ago.
What was that?
Still mopping some soup from his chest. He just looks you in the eye and he just says, "Not left."
What would they have done if I'd stayed?
What we all do, carry on.
I was going to take his medal, pin it back on his armor, and he's just going to walk all the way back to his seat.
Your mother stands up and comes over to you and like congratulates you on becoming a lord, and like that's so great. That's Brunor himself. Like, we like the queen, but you know, something fancy about Brunor Battlehammer. Like, she kind of starts falling. A couple other cousins are doing something like Brunor Battlehammer. But your father is now looking at you. And then at his grandfather. And looking at you, Tarbek, and he nods, and you can see he is crying.
Tarbek will nod to he'll sort of nod to him, and then he'll sort of with his head gesture to sort of the side of the room. Then he's going to stand up and walk out.
Your grandfather, Beryl the Younger, loudly proclaims, "Gets it from my side of the family." Okay.
Does Tarbek's father follow?
Tarbek's father does waits a couple of beats and then follows.
And Tarbek is gonna sort of just outside the dining hall wait for him.
Kaw is going to cast Clairvoyance, and she is going to spy on Tarbek.
You beautiful friend, you. But also, girl.
Karen's
Gayle is gonna use her. Gayle's gonna use her mage hand to start poking, start very gently pulling at the great grandpa's beard.
Ow.
Trying to remember what class the great grandfather is. Oh, he's also a forge cleric.
Yeah, you got lots of forge clerics in this family. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Your father comes out, and he looks at you, Tarbek.
I know why you're upset. I left, and I've been telling myself that it was to protect the family, but I think you and I both know the reason I left is because I didn't want to deal with the consequences of what happened. And for that, I'm sorry. But I'm not sorry for why I left. I loved my son very much. Dernier was the most precious thing that I'd ever made. But you and I both know that what me and Gimrita had was a sham. It was a sham from the start. And it was a sham because Regnier wanted his precious alliance.
Your father says, "I know the why of you left and why you left. And of course, it was hard. We all loved him. And Regner is pushy and a bully. But we could have dealt with it together. You could have still left her and not left the family. We would have worked it out. I don't begrudge you leaving even. I just wish you had
I was so worried about the consequences that I didn't want to face them, and I just left, and I made that snap decision. And it took me leaving to gain the wisdom to say that I should have never left in the first place. That I should have tried to make things right here.
He looks at you And he says, well, you're here now.
Well, is it too late to make things right then?
It's never too late to make things right.
I mean, he's gonna hug his dad.
Kaw's now crying at the table and no one knows why.
One of the cousins across the... Is this normal for the... We served chicken, you idiot. We served... No one said... that...
Okay. That's funny.
Our apologies from the cook.
So I hate to rush the ending, but the dressing on my leg has just come undone.
Okay.
Oh no.
Yeah, we might
that's
need to
priority.
wrap this up so I can put some medical tape on it.
So with the hugging of Tarbek and his father, we will end the episode. Quick outros. Dan, would you like to say something?
Hi. This episode brought to you by the Ontario Health Insurance Provider system. Probably fine, but I should at the very least try to tape that up.
No problem. Liz.
Hi. Please wear a mask. Do Twitter things. Black Lives Matter. Go teams.
Jay.
Wear your mask, be kind, Black Lives Matter.
And Mira.
Hi, follow me on Twitter, on Instagram, at Birds and Nerds. Art sometimes. Also activist petitions if you would like to make a difference from the comfort of quarantine.
Awesome. As always, I echo what everyone said. Be kind, wear your mask, don't be racist, and we love all of you. See you in 2 weeks for more of this. Bye!
Bye.
More family drama.